I'm falling, but they be calling when they see me balling. Pass me the rock, man, I feel like I'm Spalding. These niggas foul with the rep, do not call it. I've been in the forest, you can't even.
Welcome to DNF Football in our second video.
Yep.
So shortly we'll be joined by our guest, Frankie's good buddy, Agostino. He's a football player, looking to make it to the big leagues. We hope he makes it. We're confident that he will, and NFL scouts and coaches watching, there's a winner in this building. So in this video, we want to go over the Stefon Diggs trade first off, and then move on to what the Dallas Cowboys have done. So because Frankie's such a big Bills fan, we'll talk about the Bills trade. So the Bills acquired Stefon Diggs and a 7th-round pick, and Minnesota acquired a 1st, a 5th, and a 6th-round pick this year, and a 4th-round pick in next year's draft. So Frankie, what's your take?
So just to clarify, the first round pick was a 22nd overall. So this means two things to me. So first off, it's the Bills seasons. Like, I'm saying this for real. Tom Brady left the AFC East just as it's wide open now. But bringing in Stefon Diggs, who's had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, is just huge. Another tool for Josh Allen. When you think of Josh Allen, when he came into the league, he sat a couple of games. He got brought in. His wide receivers were Zay Jones and Calvin Benjamin. Calvin Benjamin, maybe halfway through the season got cut because he wasn't producing and he was being paid the big bucks. The season after that, Brandon Beane really went out and got 2 playmakers on the offense. John Brown, which really stretched the field, and Cole Beasley. This worked pretty well last year. They both finished in the top 30 for receiving yards. And the Bills made the playoffs, but sadly lost to the Texans. So secondly, what this tells me is that the Bills, they were lacking on the wide receiver position. They had the 22nd pick, and when we do our top 5 wide receivers in the draft, this draft is really skillful. But when we put it the Justin Jeffersons, the CeeDee Lamb, the Henry Ruggs, the Jerry Jeudy, 22nd pick overall, I personally think that they would all have been gone by then. This really shows the Bills like they want to win now, and they don't want to develop a late first-round talent for the coming years. They get a guy who's fresh off 2 great seasons, and he's really going to blend in the culture. So another tool for Josh Allen. He took a really big step from 2 years ago last year. He's going to go off this year, I think.
I totally agree with Frankie. Yeah, it's huge. Josh Allen is a very mobile quarterback. He gets comparisons to Patty Mahomes, even Drew Lock. When I did a scouting report on him, he's exactly like Josh Allen, very mobile, loves to run, but he also can launch that thing. He can sling the ball 80 yards if he wanted to. Cole Beasley, the slot back, it's huge. He's their check down target for Josh Allen, and he has 2 incredible receivers. He has the speedster and John Brown, but he also has an incredible route runner in Stefon Diggs, who he creates separation on the field. And he'll win jump balls with other corners, with the best of the best. And they even have Dawson Knox, the tight end that they drafted last year. If I'm Brandon Beane, I'm going out and signing another tight end just to provide them with some depth. But as for Minnesota, I think this shows that they're definitely investing in this year's draft class of receivers, because Denzel Mims and Jalen Reagor, T. Higgins, Laviska Shenault, like a bunch of really good receivers out of places like Colorado and Clemson. I don't think that the Ruggs and Jeudy and Lamb, I don't think they're the only good receivers. I think there's a lot of capable starters you'll find late first, early second, and even third round. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of very good receivers in this year's class. So I think Minnesota is definitely going to take one with one of those picks. Their plan is probably to take the best available at 22 and then take a receiver with 25. But I'm not their
Yeah.
manager, so I wouldn't know.
As we all know, Stefon Diggs and Kirk Cousins weren't going on well. Um, Stefon Diggs asked Minnesota's front office to either make a choice between him and Kirk Cousins, and the Vikings still have Adam Thielen, who's a number one wide receiver in this league. Yeah, but huge addition for Buffalo, who have a top three defense in the league and gonna make some damages next year with that solid top five wide receiver core, in my opinion.
All right, so moving on. So the Dallas Cowboys had a very busy offseason. So to start off, they fired head coach Jason Garrett. They told him he would not be re-signing with them, and then they ended up hiring, former Packers coach Mike McCarthy. Interesting hire. And they also made busy moves with their roster. They upgraded their defensive line. They got Pro Bowl defensive tackle Donatari Poe on a 2-year, $5.25 million per year. They also got defensive lineman Gerald McCoy, former Panthers and Buccaneers defensive lineman, Pro Bowl, on a 3-year, $18.3 million deal. They also re-signed their target, Dak Prescott's number one, Amari Cooper, on a 5-year, $100 million deal, $20 million per year.
Do you want to start with Mike McCarthy? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, he's beaten us twice so far. Once in a heartbreaking loss in the playoffs last second, and once in the regular season. This season actually, but I think the addition of Mike McCarthy is good. He brings this different attitude to the team as the head coach. I feel like that's where you have to have the biggest influence. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. Definitely think he's better than Jason Garrett. Feel like Jason Garrett likes to be a bit more consistent and regulated in his approach. Mike McCarthy comes with a we're going to take some shots downfield, win some games. So I definitely feel like that's a good energy to bring. You know, I feel like with all the offensive weapons he has, he could definitely make something work. We got phenomenal running back Ezekiel Elliott. We got Dak Prescott. Some great receivers on Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper. Great offensive line. Except the fact that we lost Travis Frederick, I think we have to draft a new center. But besides that, I think the offense is going to be great. Mike McCarthy's going to have a lot of fun with that and his offensive play callers. On the defensive side, I feel like we definitely upgraded our interior pressure. That's what we lacked. I mean, on the outside, we had Randy Gregory, who was just wreaking havoc, and DeMarcus Lawrence. So we had a lot of edge pressure. But if you look, we gave up a lot of yards. I think it was like 5.6 yards per play interior on inside runs or inside passes. So now that we got two phenomenal defensive tackles to really, pressure those quarterbacks up the middle, our D-line is going to be complete. And besides that, we really just need to start building up our secondary a bit more.
Yeah, Byron Jones left. How do you
Byron
feel
Jones
about
left to
that?
Miami.
Yeah.
Pretty sad. To be honest, he was our best boundary corner. You could put him on an island with just about anybody. I mean, you saw what he did to the Saints and Michael Thomas, held him to 0 catches. We definitely lost an athletic playmaker. He doesn't jump out on the stat sheet, but he will have a receiver quiet all night long. His cover skills and athleticism is off the charts. However, we do have a very strong linebacker core in Sean Lee, um, Leighton Vander Esch, and Jalen Smith. We really, in the 3-4 front, we really do stop the run, even in nickel formation. Just having our two faster linebackers out there is good. And our safeties, we have some very versatile, hard-hitting DBs. We got Chidobe Awuzie, we have Jordan Lewis. Jeff Heath, unfortunately, left to the Raiders, which was a big loss. He was our starting strong safety. But we still have Xavier Woods, versatile ball hawking free safety. So that's just about it. I mean, we just have to fix up some more of our cues, get one more deep threat receiver, and we honestly should be good.
So if we turn to the offensive side of the ball, um, Do you think Amari Cooper's contract is justified? That
I
5-year, $100 million extension.
I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, we signed him during the season. Usually, when a player signed during the season, it's either to fill cap space or just contribute a little bit. But he quickly stepped up, racking up over 850 yards, almost 12 touchdowns actually, and he was just a pure threat. He's the type of guy he could stretch the field quickly. He could he could catch a screen pass, turn into a 50-yard play, run a go route, post route, house it, catch a slant route. He does possession catches, rack catches, tough to cover, beats man, beats zone. I believe he's probably one of the best receivers in the league right now. So, without a doubt, he deserves all that.
And do you really think that Dak Prescott is the man
I
that's
bel
going to bring the Cowboys to the next level?
I think I wouldn't say he's the man because to be the man as a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, you really have to you have to bring some success. I mean, looking at the past quarterbacks, it's not easy to fill in those shoes. I do feel like Dak doesn't get the respect he deserves from a fan base point of view. I mean, look at his stats: over 4,000 yards, over 30 touchdowns. A bit high on the interception side, but to be honest, some of those aren't even his fault. I believe that his versatile ability to run the ball, pass the ball, run out of the pocket, throw on the run is truly a special talent. As long as he has good weapons around him and a good coaching staff, he could do it.
Yeah, speaking about weapons, the Cowboys just lost tight end Jason Witten to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, that was depressing. A longtime Cowboys fan to see one of the greatest tight ends ever of all time, future Hall of Famer, leave. I'm not mad about it. I'm just sad about it. I mean, he deserves to retire. No one could even hate on him. I do feel like his production did decrease though because of his age, and the newer game is faster. It'd be a bit more versatile, but he will be missed. But we
Yeah,
have Dalton Schultz, who's filling as the number one tight end right now, so that's gonna be good.
maybe the Dallas Cowboys will target tight end in the draft. Not very deep, but not looking like a tight end will go in the first round as of yet.
Not really, but I do think there's some guys in there that could fill in Jason Witten's shoes for a bit, or at least start to.
Yeah,
So if you had to identify one need this draft, what would it be? One
It
position.
would be two things. It would be two things. Uh, a strong offensive lineman, particularly an inline inside guy, guard or center, uh, and a kick returner. And I say this because if you look, we didn't have many splash plays on special teams. And whenever the statistic shows, whenever a big play is made on special teams, that team has a 75 to 80% chance of winning that game. You can just imagine, we have Tavon Austin, but he was injured and couldn't make the impact that he was supposed to. So we get if we get a guy who could block like Travis Frederick up the middle and do his job and take on double teams, and we get a guy who could make those splash plays on special teams and kick return, punt return, I think we're going to be good. It's the little things they have to fix because the big picture they haven't figured out. They just got to do a few little tweaks.
yeah. Well, I think that wraps up this video. Like and subscribe.
Perfect.
Amazing to have you on the show.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you for
for
having me.
And yeah, it's huge. Yeah, hopefully Dallas, will turn on their season. NFC East, not look
Yeah,
like a big battle between any other team besides you guys in Philly. So yeah,
yeah.
So drop
See you
a
guys.
like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Always, always.